Hi, scholars and parents. This is Ms. Palmer. I'm about to do two examples from homework 5.20. The first page are word problems involving fractions, and the back is subtracting with mixed numbers. First example. Tabitha uses 1 1/4 cups of water to make 1 cup of rice. What is the total amount of water Tabitha needs to make 5 cups of rice? I'm always going to start by underlining important information. So I underlined 1 1/4 cups of water. I underlined 1 cup of rice because it takes that amount to make that amount. And then I double underlined the question. I want to know how much water she needs to make 5 cups of rice. I'm going to start with a visual model. And in my visual model, I use labels to represent the amount of rice, and I used fraction strips to represent the amount of water. So if you look at these sort of as rows, for 1 cup of water, I needed 1 1/4, for 1 cup of rice, I needed 1 1/4 cups of water. Then the second one, I needed the same, 1 1/4. The third, I also need the same, 1 1/4, and so on until I have 5 cups of rice down the side. So that equation, if we put that into an equation form, what I'm doing is 5 times 1 1/4. 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5. In order to get my answer, I can actually use my picture. So it says here, I'm going to take information from the model. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wholes. I know I need 5 whole cups of water. And then I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fourths. So that's what I wrote here, 5 5/4. Now, I can't have a mixed number that has an improper fraction inside of it, so I need to simplify. I need to figure out how many times 4 can go into 5. So I set up my division house. 4 goes into 5 one time. Do my subtraction, I get 4 left over. 1 is my whole number. 1 is my new numerator. My denominator stays the same. So over here, let's see. I keep the 5. I always had this 5, so I have to keep it. But I also have 1 more whole and 1/4. That simplifies to 6 1/4 cups of water. That is my answer. I included a label. I put a box around it. Turning to the back. Here, I'm trying to subtract 5 1/4 minus 1 2/5. First, I notice that they have different denominators. 5 and 4 are not the same. They're not the same size pieces, so I can't subtract them. So I'm going to come over here and do my table to find a common denominator. I'm going to skip count my 4s and my 5s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. I have 20 in common. So now I can set up my problem. 5 1/4 minus 1 2/5. I need to multiply by something to get a fraction with a denominator of 20. So I know that 4 times 5 will give me 20. I have to do the same on top. 1 times 5 gives me 5. My whole number 5 just jumps right over. 5 times 4 gives me 20. I do the same thing on top. 2 times 4 gives me 8. And my whole number 1 just jumps over. But now, 5/20 minus 8/20, I can't do that. I'm going to squiggle my work over so that it's clear that I'm continuing. Reset up the problem. 5 5/20 minus 1 8/20. And I can regroup this. I can turn this 5 into 4 20/20. The reason for that is because 20/20 is the same as 1 whole. So 4 wholes and 1 whole is like 5 wholes. But I have to keep the 5/20 that I always had. So that simplifies to 4 25/20. The 1 8/20, that doesn't change. So that goes just right across. And now I'm ready to subtract. I always start with my fractional pieces. 25 minus 8, I did that over here just to be super sure. I got 17. 17/20, and then 4 minus 1 is 3. So my final answer is 3 17/20. 20ths.